beautiful souls. It is Amanda here, and we are here for Reconnection Day 4, the final day. I'm so excited. Today, we're talking about reconnecting with the soul, which I'm sure you know I love talking about the soul. Ooh, let me actually put the mic in. I think that would be nicer for you. Apologize about this. Okay, there we are. So let me know how you've been going with Reconnection so far. I would love to hear your big takeaways, what has really landed for you, what has really shifted within you. And when you express these things, you're really sinking it in as well, and you're helping others see the highlights that they might have missed as well, because everything lands differently for each person. So let me know in the comments what has really landed for you in Reconnection. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone here live or watching the replay. I'm so excited. Okay, let's dive in. Also, at the end, I will be putting out some very juicy offers, so stay tuned for that. If you love this kind of holistic health approach to your PCOS, to your health, then and you want to take the next step, you really want to level up, you really want to integrate and embody this work so that you can be the healthiest, the most confident, the most authentic, the most joyful version of you, then check those out. All right, so the soul. Of course, today is going to be deep, just like all the other ones have been. So what is the soul? Well, it is simply the essence of your being. And I believe that it comes from your heart space. Your soul comes from your heart space. So why does reconnecting with the soul matter for your health, for your PCOS? Well, when you're connected to your soul, when you're living a soul-led life, you shift from making decisions from your mind to your heart space. Your heart space, your soul will always give you the answer or take the option that is for your highest good, for your growth and development, for your happiness, for your joy. Your heart will always point you in the direction of your highest good. Whereas your mind, the oh so powerful mind, is influenced by so many external factors. It's wonderful for creating structures and routines and shifting to bring a more positive or a more whatever lens that you want to bring into your life. We talked about the mind yesterday. If you haven't watched Reconnection Day 3, go and do that. But it is also so influenced by all the information that we're taking in and processing all day, every day. And so it can be skewed. It can be clouded. It can be influenced by so many factors. So when you start to shift making your decisions from your mind to your soul, to your heart space, things start to flow, things start to become more easy. You start to feel more in alignment. Think about when you do something that you would call soulful for yourself. That might be dancing, that might be I think of dancing because that's my like one of my soulful things. It might be spending time in nature. It might be being with your friends and loved ones. How easy does that feel? Most of the time, with the friends and family, sometimes two different souls, you know. But how good does that feel? How grounded do you feel after a really beautiful, heartfelt conversation with your loved one? This is what we want to start shifting into, making decisions from the soul, the heart space. And I know that you want to be the healthiest, the most confident, the happiest, the most joyful, the most authentic, the most grounded, the most peaceful version of you. I know you want that for yourself. And that is your soul speaking. That is what your soul wants for you as well. That is you in your highest frequency. That is you. You are the healthiest, most confident, most happiest, most joyful version of you. You are always in your highest frequency. But there's the programming, there's the conditioning, there's the trauma, there's all these things that have put barriers between who you are or who you play out to be and who you truly are. These things have created layers that are blocking you from living out your most authentic truth, living out your highest frequency. So throughout your life, when you were born, you are the purest version of yourself. You are the highest frequency of yourself. But all this trauma and conditioning and programming has built layers and you've strayed further away from your soul. And so when you start to acknowledge that and start to heal those traumas and conditioning and the program, and you start to clear that out, and you start to reconnect with your soul, you start to take more aligned actions and make more aligned decisions more easily. That means that nutritious eating becomes easy. No longer are you struggling trying to figure out what you need to eat to heal your PCOS or how you're going to exercise regularly, because these things are innate. You want to feel good. You want your body to feel good. You want to feel in alignment. You want to be healthy. You know what to do. But all these layers, oh, but you have to cut out carbs. Oh, but your body should look a certain way. Oh, but you need to work out 5 times a week and do high intensity interval training. All this conditioning, all this trauma, the fat phobia, the racial trauma, the sexism, all of these have clouded your connection to your soul. So we need to start clearing those things out so that you are connected and you can make these healthier, these more aligned decisions more easily. Let me know if this is resonating with you. The second layer of that, and this is where we go even deeper, is what is the point of life? What is the point of your life? Is it to just work and make money and buy things and watch TV and sleep and then do the same thing the next day? Is it to live by the expectation of others and try to please other people and make other people happy? Is it to try to fit in to what our society deems as beautiful? And in the meantime, kill yourself while trying to do that. Be unhappy. Use up years of your life to try to achieve this idea of beauty that our society has set, and actually not be living your life. We see this so much, particularly in the health space. So many people are trying to lose weight, essentially, because we've conflated the idea that being in a smaller body is healthier. And so you spend years trying to lose weight rather than just trying to improve your health. Just trying to do things that make you feel good, that make you feel nourished. Instead, people are starving themselves. People are exercising until exhaustion. So what is the point of life? We are human beings. Beings. Be. We are not human doings. We are not human doings. Our purpose is not to do all the time. Our purpose is to be. And this taps into the feminine and masculine energies. Doing is a masculine energy, and of course in our society we have to do things, and to survive we have to do things. But the being is the feminine energy, the stillness. How much are you doing and how much are you being? That's a really important one to reflect on. Maybe hit pause if you're watching the replay, or note to journal about that later, and to just really have a look at your life and look at how much are you doing and how much are you being in your work, in your relationships, in your personal life, in your health. We live in a society that praises and encourages do, and calls being, calls resting, calls pleasure lazy, unproductive. And like I've talked about this before, that is the unhealed masculine energy that has been dominating our society, Western society, for a long, long time. I used to have an imbalance of doing and being. Resting was scary for me. I had 2 weeks off at the beginning of this year, and I was talking to my energy coach. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself not working. Like, what am I going to do? She's like, don't do, just be. And Now I feel like I have more of a balance of my feminine and masculine energies. Still get sucked into more masculine energy sometimes, but I'm really practicing just being. And I see in my clients, they have that imbalance of the doing and the being, the feminine and masculine energies. And if you think deeper, because everything starts in the energy field first and then it manifests into the physical body. So that dominance of the masculine energy, the constant doing, is that what manifests into the physical body? Is that why there is a heightened amount of male hormones and an imbalance of the other hormones? Is that why an ovulatory infertility is a problem in people with PCOS? These are questions. So reflect on how much you do and you be. What is the balance there? Do you feel like you're out of balance? Does being, just being, scare you a little bit? If it does, that's okay. That's actually quite normal in our society. Common, I should say, more than normal. But you can shift the balance. I want to talk about the frequencies of emotion for a moment here. And this might be very new to you if you haven't really encountered much of the energy world, but not that energy and everything has to be proven, but energy and understanding that everything is energy is proven by science. It's quantum physics. Everything is energy. We are energy that condensed together. You know, if you break it down to like really basic science, you have the neutrons and protons in the middle and electrons on the side, and most of it is just air or space, right? So everything is energy, everything is vibrating. And so are our emotions. Our emotions are just energy in motion. Emotion. Energies in motion. And different emotions have different frequencies. And I'm sure that you can feel this as well in your own experiences. The higher frequency emotions are things like love, happiness, gratitude, peace. These are higher frequencies. You feel light. Whereas things like guilt and shame and loneliness are very dense frequencies. They're lower vibrations, they're lower frequencies. And you can feel it on your body, that like shame and guilt, they feel super dense on your body, right? And when things are dense, they not only feel heavy, but they can manifest into our physical body. And that's why when people have more fear and guilt and shame in their lives, often they're in worse health. They have more health problems going on. Because the energy of their emotions are consistently dense, and it manifests into the physical body as a physical ailment or condition. I know this might be a little bit like, what? Like, what? to a lot of you who haven't really heard this side of things before, but like you can literally just Google like frequencies of emotion on Google, and it'll show you the different frequencies of different emotions, and there's so many articles about it. Like, this is proven science. Like, our emotions are just different frequencies of energy, and it's measured as well. There's like the hertz of each of the emotions as well. So another thing to reflect on is how often are you feeling the more high vibrational, high frequency emotions? And how often are you feeling the more dense and low frequency emotions? What is the balance for you there? When you go into the lower frequencies, can you bring yourself back up more quickly? And that's not to say to bypass the more difficult, the more heavy emotions. Not at all. That's not what we're talking about. It's how can you transmute those emotions, those more dense emotions? How can you release those more dense emotions so that you can come back to your higher frequency? If you just suppress these emotions, that doesn't release them. That doesn't mean you're in a higher frequency, because it's still within you. Emotions, like we talked about in day 2, so if you haven't watched that, go back and watch that. But emotions are stored in our body, in our energy field. And if we don't release them, they will get stuck there. So if you just try to ignore your less pleasant emotions, just put it away and not focus on them and try to be happy, they're still in there. So you're not at that higher frequency. And if it continues to fester there for a long time and sit there for a long time, physical ailments or mental ailments. So that is the frequencies of emotion. So what is your balance in terms of your frequencies of emotions, and how can you shift your frequency so that you're vibing on the higher ends more often? I want to talk to you now about how you can live a more soul-aligned life. So when you are living in alignment with your soul, you are likely going to be vibing at the higher frequencies, because your soul naturally is love, is happiness, is joy. Those are the higher vibration, higher frequency emotions. Well, it starts with living from the inside out rather than the outside in. Living from the inside out rather than the outside in. What comes up for you when I say that? That's a big one. If we think of it in terms of nutrition and movement and your healthy habits, where have you gotten your nutrition and movement and health information so far? Likely from external sources, right? From your doctor, from the internet, from these Fitspo influencer people on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. And you're trying to take this information and force your body, force your soul to do these things. And even though your body and your soul is like, oh, this feels terrible, I don't like it, you're like, no, this is what is good and healthy for me. And you try to make yourself fit into this box. That is living from the outside in. It's, you need to be a BMI of this, you need to lose X amount of weight to be healthy, rather than feeling healthy inside and following that. Following what makes you feel healthy and nourished and well. So how can you remove the pressures, these external pressures that you're giving your power away to? How can you remove all these external things that are stopping you from listening to your body, from listening to your soul? How can you start living from the inside out? That's what intuitive eating is all about. Intuitive, internal, inside out. And I know your mind's probably coming out with all the red flags now and alarm sounds and like, oh, but how would I know if I'm healthy? I don't know how to be healthy clearly because I'm not healthy at the moment, etc., etc. And so we go back to the mindset. The mindset, your beliefs. How can you let go of the beliefs that you don't know, that you are not safe without these external rules? So everything is intertwined, everything is connected. You cannot heal one thing without the other, and this is why I talk about healing the body, mind, and soul. You cannot do one without the other. So that's the most basic kind of level, like the nutrition and the movement, things like that. The next level is about the way you do everything else. Your job, your relationships, the way you speak, the way you dress, the way you do life. Are you living from the outside in or the inside out? Are you allowing other people to tell you what is best for you? Or do you have that strong internal compass, that strong connection to your intuition, that strong connection to your soul that helps you feel grounded in your decisions, that helps you know that you are on the right track because you feel alignment, because you feel joy, because you feel excited, because you feel love? The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. The way you do one thing is the way that you do everything. So if you are allowing yourself to give your power away to everyone and everything else external from you in terms of your nutrition and movement, likely you're doing that for the way you live your life as well. And thoughts might come up about, oh, but I have children, I have a partner, I have other people and other things to consider. And of course you do. And I am sure you love your partner and you love your children and you want the best for them. But doing what's best for them does not mean doing it at the detriment of what is right for you. Of course, you're going to have to make some compromises sometimes, but if it is compromising what feels in alignment and what feels right for you, that's not a compromise. That is you prioritizing other people's needs over your own. And I used to think that I had no right, no power, no ground to tell mothers to prioritize themselves and do what feels right for them, because I'm not a mother myself and I don't understand the pressures of having so many responsibilities, and I don't. But I am the daughter of a mother who never prioritized herself, who always put everyone else's needs before her own, and to the detriment of herself. And I grew up thinking that that was normal, that that was healthy, that that's what I should do to be a good woman, to be a good person. And so I place my value on serving everyone else to the detriment of my health and my happiness. Until I did the healing work and I realized that she just has a lot of trauma. And actually, that's not the truth, because when I live in alignment with my soul, if I do what is healthy and happy, that makes me happy, it inspires other people to do the same. You can be happy, you can be in alignment, you can live according to your soul, and also help others, be there for others. In fact, that is even more so. When you live your healthiest and happiest life, even if that means putting up boundaries, even if that means having to ask telling your children that you just need 5 to 10 minutes for yourself and this is you time and you'll deal with what they need in a moment. That is demonstrating to them, to everyone else, that prioritizing yourself and making sure that you feel safe and healthy and happy is important. That is what we need more in the world. We don't need more people pleasing and doing things to the detriment of themselves and then feeling resentment because they're not in good health. So, can you do what is right, what is kind, rather than what is nice? Because nice is a facade. Nice is manipulative. Being nice is just, I'm going to seem like I'm doing something good for you, but then I'm going to hold resentment because it's not good for me. Being kind is doing what's good for both of us, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable to begin with. Let me know if this is resonating, or if you want me to speak more about this. The kind versus nice thing is big for a lot of people. It was for me when I heard about it. So the way that you live from the inside out, or you start living from the inside out, is to spend more time with yourself, to spend more time reflecting, to spend more time going internally and exploring what's there, which I know can be scary for a lot of people. Or you might feel really lost because you've never been told to connect with yourself, your internal world before. But this is how you're going to find what feels right, what your soul wants. This is how you're going to start living a happier and healthier soul-led life and have your actions just flow out of alignment. By going internally. And that might look like journaling. That might look like meditating. That might look like going to a therapist or a counselor or a coach, holistic coach. This is a big one. This is a big one because I know a lot of people aren't used to going internally. So many of my clients, when I encourage them to do this work, they're like, no one's ever asked me what I want before. I don't know how to connect with myself. I've never done that before. Some say it was actually really scary to be so vulnerable, to actually write down and decide and say what I want. Particularly as women and vulva owners, so much of our world is things being decided for us about our bodies, about our lives, about how we should be, who we should be, what we should be. It's time to take back your power. It's time to take back your sovereignty. It's time to take back your life. You are in control now. What do you want? And when you go internally, particularly after, I'm going to wind back for a moment. So yesterday I talked about, I believe that there are no coincidences in our world, and everything that happens is for your highest good. So all the great things and also the not so great things. And when we accept that, we see the not so great things as lessons. And we can reflect and extract the lessons from these things that happened. And so I'm going to give an example of my Friday. There was a lot going on Friday, the whole bed bug thing, had a panic attack. I missed my energy healing session. and they cancelled the yin yoga session. And so it was just like thing after thing, big thing first, and then the rest of it was just like, what is my day? And I knew that because things weren't flowing and things weren't in alignment, there was a lesson there. Of course, it was still frustrating. Of course, I still cried. Of course, I was like, what the fuck is going on? But I intentionally took out time that weekend to reflect, to go inward, and look for the lessons in that day. I meditated, I did some Reiki healing on myself, I drew out some tarot and oracle cards, I journaled. And what I got from that was this was a practice of, or a lesson, a showing of your resilience, of your patience, of unconditional self-love, of slowing down and reflecting. These things needed to happen because I had not been taking care of myself. I had been so caught up in my Bali life and all my energy was everywhere, and I wasn't fully, properly taking care of myself. And so this was the signal to me to slow down, to go inward, to reflect, to realign with myself, with my soul. And on Monday, my energy felt so clear. Everything was amazing, sunshine and rainbows. I decided to do this 4-day live stream because I wanted to, because it felt aligned, because it's coming from my soul, my heart. This is the power of slowing down and reflecting, going inward, doing the inner work. You shift through these denser, lower frequency emotions so much quicker, so that you can come back to the higher frequencies and you can be more in love with your partner, your kids, your pets, your job, your life. So that's living from the inside out. The other thing I want to talk about is coming from a place of love over fear. So I've talked about this a bit already on socials and things like that, and we've touched on it today with the soul being the heart space, love being a high vibration frequency. And I want to add on top of love, unconditional love. Unconditional love for yourself. Do you have unconditional love for yourself? Do you love yourself when you're eating well and you're feeling good and you're going to the gym or you're moving your body and you feel good? And do you love yourself when you don't do those things? You miss a day of training, you miss a day of eating well and you end up binge eating. You get stressed and you lash out at your partner. Do you still have love for yourself in those moments where your shadow comes out, where you're in the lower frequencies? This is work that I'm still working on. This is the work. Can you have unconditional love for yourself so that when you binge eat, it's not that you're a failure and you now no longer love yourself and you need to get back on track so you can love yourself. It's not you only loving yourself when you're in a smaller body or when you lose weight. It's unconditional. Unconditional love means that you binge eat and you're like, oh crap, that was not what I wanted. That was not aligned to my soul. But I love myself, so I'm going to make sure that I nourish myself again, so I can feel good, so I can come back to feeling and being in alignment. It's looking at the scales and it's gone up a couple of kilos and you're like, I love myself unconditionally, so I'm still going to nourish myself, move my body because I want to feel good, rather than, oh crap, I need to lose weight, so I'm going to restrict and I'm going to exercise a lot so I can love myself again. Do you see the difference? And if love seems like a big step, maybe just trying for acceptance. Just accepting yourself. I binged ate. That's okay. I accept that. I'm going to continue to eat anyway because I want to nourish myself. Rather than the fear response, which would be, oh my gosh, I binged. That means I need to restrict because I need to lose weight because of this and that and that. When you have unconditional love or acceptance for yourself, it doesn't matter if you do things perfectly. It doesn't matter if you fail. It doesn't matter if you binge. It doesn't matter if you fall off track with your habits. It doesn't matter if you miss a day of working out. You pick yourself back up and you try again the next day. Because you know these things help you feel good in your body. These things are nourishing for your body. These things are nourishing for your mind. So can you work on having unconditional love and acceptance for yourself? A last thing that I want to talk about is expressing gratitude. I'm sure you've heard all the benefits of gratitude and how it's so beneficial for your mind and for your life and for your health. And maybe you've even tried to keep a gratitude journal before. Maybe you do right now, and that's wonderful. I know personally, I've heard about gratitude for so many years, and on and off I've tried the gratitude journals. I've tried doing, writing your 3 gratitudes at the end of the night, at the start of the night, all of it. And I think I've tried probably 6 or 7 times before, and it never stuck. But now, I think maybe because I am doing so much of this work, and I not only know how beneficial it is, but I am embodying gratitude. I do genuinely feel so much gratitude that I'm only able to get to this place now because I've tried those 6, 7 times in the past, because I failed those 6, 7 times in the past. So where can you express more gratitude in your life? That could just be saying thank you more often for the things, the people around you and the things around you. just saying thank you more often. It could be writing in your gratitude journal or in your journal some gratitudes at the end or the start of the day. It could be doing it in your morning or night meditation practice or whatever practice that you have. How can you bring more gratitude to your life? And true gratitude, actually feel it in your body. Actually express what you're grateful for, not just I'm grateful for nature, but I'm grateful for nature because it's so beautiful and it puts my soul at ease. I'm grateful for my partner because they're so kind and generous and makes me feel safe. Gratitude, it is a higher vibration, higher frequency as well. And lastly, just finding community. Finding a community of people who are doing this work as well. You may have heard the saying that we are the sum total of the top 5 people that we spend our time with. When other people are doing this work, we're in more of this energy, we're in more of this frequency. When you're surrounded by people who have a higher frequency, yours will start to shift as well. This is why people join group coaching programs or people do coaching. This is why I'm a part of an energy, it's called Expansion Masters with my beautiful energy coach Leanne. And as soon being plugged into this group, this higher frequency, I can feel myself shifting already. We've really started 2 weeks ago, maybe last week. But being plugged into this, having this constant reminder, continuing to learn and develop yourself and grow together in a community of people who are committed to living a soul-led life, to living a healthier life, to improving themselves, to improving the collective, to healing the collective. This makes it so much easier to do this work and to actually do the work, to be accountable for it, and also just to naturally shift your vibration. You don't even have to do anything. Just being around and connected to people in a higher frequency allows you to shift your frequency. Think about the people that you hang out with and you always feel light and really joyful around them and after hanging out with them, and the people that you feel really dense after hanging out with them. So, just to summarize from everything that we've talked about today, I know it's been a deep one, but I hope it's been hitting home, and I hope it's really kind of just started to unlock something in you and to start lighting up that fire in your soul again. But living in alignment with your soul makes life easier, makes healthy habits easier, makes being more confident and more happy and more joyful and more grateful easier. You need to clear out all the layers that's stopping you, that's distracting you, that's a barrier to you living according to your soul. Start living from the inside out rather than the outside in. Choose to come from a place of love, unconditional love for yourself, for your body, for life, over fear. Express gratitude, genuine gratitude, authentic gratitude, deep gratitude, and find your community to continue to be plugged into this work. And of course, talking about communities, talking about this work, talking about being plugged in, I do have some offers for you to join if it feels aligned, if you want to stay plugged in. The first is the first is the Nourished and Energized program, which starts tomorrow. It's a 3-part live training, which is all about focusing on nutrition and how to keep your habits around nutrition, your consistent, your balanced, healthy eating consistent. We go into depth about mindset, about breaking down your fear with all these diet mindsets. We talk about moving towards taking love-based actions and love-based approach and mindset. We talk about developing that growth mindset. We break down your barriers so that being consistent with your nutrition is easy, so that you can balance your hormones, so you can reduce your insulin resistance, so you can reduce your androgen, so you can feel more energized, have less symptoms, and be more balanced and confident in your body. There's, of course, a more practical element to it where we create a whole flexible meal plan for you. Well, you create it with the guidance of myself and the collective. So that is $444 USD. We start tomorrow, and it will be 3 sessions over the next 2 weeks. There is also a very exclusive offer that is only available for 2 people. I've never put out this offer before, and I'm very excited about it. It is the group coaching program, 6 months, with private coaching on top of that. So for 6 months, you get weekly group coaching over Voxer, and you also have access to me 4 days a week. So you are staying super plugged in to this kind of energy. You get all the pre-recorded videos as a part of the PCOS Body Freedom program, and you also get access to all the upcoming live trainings as well, including the Nourish and Energize program and all the programs that come after that. So insane. A lot is included. This is for you if you really want to level up, if you really want to stay plugged in, do the work, and watch yourself just let go of all of these layers, let go of all these fears, these limiting beliefs, and step into the highest frequency of you. Your most healthiest, your most confident, your most free, your most loving and loved, your most excited, your most joyful self. This is the embodiment of all of this work. So that is available for 2 people. If this feels aligned for you, it is $444 USD, 4444, sorry, 4 4s, 4444 USD. So if you are feeling called to step into this program, this very exclusive program, please send me a DM. I'll pop all the links for the offers and all of that for the Nourish and Energize program in the comment section as well. But for the exclusive private and group coaching offer, please send me a DM either on Instagram at pcos.healing.dietitian, new handle, or email me amanda@thedivingdietitian.com. That's it. Lastly, there is also the group coaching container as well by itself without the private coaching, and that is at $2,555. So you get 6 months access to that, staying plugged in, get the high vibes of the group, and do that embodiment work. Thank you so much for joining me, for sticking around, for being a part of this whole training, this whole process, this whole learning. Thank you for your courage to do the work, to reflect, to step up into your highest self. When you do the work, you are inspiring others and healing others as well. So I honor your courage, your strength, your resilience. And I'm so grateful that you are here in my community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have any wonderful insights that you want to share with the group so you can spread that high vibration, please do so. Drop it in the comments or drop it in the Facebook group. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and we'll speak soon.